A woman picks the man who remains by himself because his quiet nature reveals inner power, poise, and dignity. He does not pursue, plead, or worry about losing things. His self-reliance builds a sense of mystery. His limits demand honor, and being in his life feels like something that must be gained. She finds herself pulled toward the individual who guides himself before anyone else. A man who stays alone is rooted in self-honor because he recognizes that the most vital bond he will ever possess is the one he creates with his own soul. He is not afraid of being on his own. He welcomes it because it is in those still hours that he builds his character. While others require constant notice, praise, or company to feel important, he has discovered that true bravery is shaped in the hush of silence. He understands his identity, his desires, and what he will never accept. His value is not based on how many individuals pick him, but by the rules he creates for his own existence. Staying on his own does not mean he is lonely or shut off. It means he is careful. He protects his spirit with purpose. He does not offer access to everyone because he realizes that not everyone is worthy of a place in his world. By choosing to stay on his own, he shows that he will not drop his standards just to be included. He would rather walk his road alone than trade his honesty for short-term comfort. This level of self-honor is uncommon, and it is the reason why his energy feels mighty without him ever having to shout. He is not moved by pride, but by clear thought. He does not deal with chaos, mess, or rudeness because he knows that accepting less than what he is worth is a way of hurting himself. He has grown his poise through hard work, fixing goals, keeping limits, and refusing to accept the ordinary. When he walks away from places that tire him, he sends a clear sign to everyone around. I know my worth. People might get him wrong or call him cold, but he does not explain his way of life. He does not need a nod of approval for choices based on self-worth. A man who stays on his own does not chase after situations or people who do not return his care. He knows that chasing what does not fit only leads to sadness. Instead, he lets what is meant for him come close on its own. He relies on himself enough to walk away even from things he once desired. This skill to leave with grace is a mark of growing up inside. It proves that he would rather keep his peace than force a connection that ruins who he is. His time alone builds him. It makes his focus sharp, grows his habit of hard work, and lets him grow without things pulling him away. While others run from being alone because it shows their weak spots, he uses that same room to fix himself. He becomes stronger in his heart, sharper in his mind, and steady in his spirit. When he finally chooses to bond with others, he does so from a place of having plenty, not from a place of being needy. He stands on his own not because he is frail or hurt, but because he refuses to break his soul for others. This is what makes him different from the rest. His self-honor shines through the way he talks, the choices he makes, and the limits he holds. People are pulled to him not because he is open to everyone, but because he is honest with himself in a world where most people give up on themselves just to be liked. His time alone shows he has grown up because he is not running away from his own mind. He is ready to look at his inner world without being scared. Most people hide from themselves with noise, partners, and constant busy work because silence makes them look at their fears. But he loves that silence. He understands that being alone is not being empty. It is being clear. It is the room where he watches his feelings, understands them, and learns to rule them instead of letting them rule him. His skill to be by himself without feeling sad shows that he has built a steady heart from within, not from things outside. He does not rely on quick attention to feel whole. He does not need praise to feel worthy. He knows that real growth starts when a person learns to fix their own feelings inside instead of through other people. In his quiet time, he thinks, resets, and grows. He can sit with hard feelings, deal with pain, and turn it into smart lessons. This is why he does not act without thinking or make choices based on being scared. He has found the strength to stop, think, and act with a plan. His calm way is not a fluke. It has been earned through many hours of sitting with himself. His time alone teaches him to wait. He knows that wanting things right now often leads to long-term regret. That is why he does not rush into bonds, promises, or fights. He takes time to see what he really wants. Growing up means he does not force people to stay, nor does he chase those who decide to walk away. He honors the natural way of relationships because he knows one fact very well: what fits will stay and what does not will go away. His smart heart lets him let go without being angry and accept things without being stuck. In his quiet time, he learns to be the one in charge. He does not blame others for his life. He does not throw his hurts onto people nearby. Instead, he looks at his habits, admits his errors, and grows from them. His growth is seen in how he answers for his actions. He does not repeat bad loops, he breaks them. He does not hold on to excuses, he looks for ways to fix things. While others point at everything else as the reason for their problems, he looks inside knowing that knowing oneself is the first move toward change. His time alone gives him freedom in his heart. He does not fall apart when life gets tough because he has already practiced being on his own. Hard times do not scare him. Problems do not shake him. He does not panic, act out, or look for someone to save him. He trusts his skill to move through storms because he has built a tough bond with himself. He knows that he can count on his own brain, his hard work, and his values. This growth becomes clear in how he talks with people. He listens more than he speaks. He watches before he makes a judgment. He answers instead of just reacting. He honors the limits of others because he honors his own. He does not feel scared by other people's feelings. They do not crush him or tell him how to act. His inner peace makes others feel safe when they are near him. His presence is steady, sure, and calm because he has done the hard work in private. His time alone does not cut him off. It lifts him up. It turns him into a man who leads with a strong heart rather than a messy one, a man who gives without losing his soul, and a man who bonds without being a burden. Being on one's own shows power, not being cold, because it proves that he can stand without needing someone to tell him he is good. He is not distant because he does not care. He is on his own because he has built a life based on a goal, hard work, and self-honor. He does not fear a bond. He simply refuses to count on others to say who he is. This kind of freedom is not about pushing people away, but about making sure he never loses himself while caring for others. His power comes from knowing that his joy, balance, and path come from within, not from things he is tied to. He does not hold on to people, results, or bonds because he has learned to trust his own way. He understands that bonds built on being needy will eventually fall, while bonds built on strength and being a person thrive. His freedom means he adds to a bond far, a place of being full, not empty. He does not drain others because he has already done the work of filling his own heart. This is why people say he is steady, calm, and sure. He brings peace, not mess, and ease, not stress. His freedom also shows a disciplined heart. He knows that counting too much on others for a good job leads to sadness and worry, so he stays close but not tied down, loving but not stuck, there but not lost. This balance lets him love with a clear head instead of being scared. He does not use love as a stick to hold him up. He picks it from a place of power. When he walks with someone, it is because he truly wants to, not because he needs them to make him whole. This is what makes him stand apart. His presence feels like a choice, not a plea. Freedom is also a sign of being the one in charge. He does not wait for someone to mend his life. He builds it. He takes the blame for his choices, his growth, and his days ahead. When problems show up, he does not fall or look for a rescue. He stands up. He looks at situations with grit because he knows he has the power to manage them. People count on him because he has shown that he does not break under a heavy load. His freedom makes him a man to rely on, someone who can carry his own weight without being a bother to others. This power does not mean he has no feelings or does not want to be close. It means he refuses to give up his soul for closeness. He does not melt into someone else's life until he is gone. Instead, he keeps his own ways, his goals, his habits, and his limits. This is what gives real weight to his bonds. When he gives his time or care, it has worth because it is a pick, not a need. He does not stretch himself too thin or lose his aim just to be liked. His freedom keeps him from being used, tired out, or ruled. Because he stands tough on his own, he becomes someone people naturally want to be near. His freedom is not a wall. It is a flaw. It lets him show up all the way without being scared of being left or told no. When he loves with trust. When he makes a promise, he does it because he is ready, not because he is scared to be by himself. His freedom makes his presence mighty and his bonds full of meaning. This is why his power is clear even when he is silent. Women trust the man who is not scared to lose because his poise does not come from ruling the end result. It comes from ruling himself. He is not moved by fear, worry, or a feeling of being desperate. He does not hold on tight, chase, or haggle over his worth. He understands that what is meant to stay will stay, and what does not fit will naturally go away. This peace gives him a quiet, mighty presence that makes women feel at ease. When a man is not scared to lose someone, it shows that he is not acting from a place of having nothing. He is acting from a place of self-honor. He does not twist his values just to be picked. He does not make himself small to keep someone happy. He does not put up with bad acts in the hope that things will get better. His skill to walk away with pride shows a strong heart. Women trust this because they know he will not stay because he is scared, but because he truly wants to. A man who is not scared to lose will never plead for notice, take tiny bits, or let himself be treated poorly. He holds himself to a high rule, and that rule naturally lifts the whole bond. His lack of fear also shows hard work. He has taught himself to stay calm when it is hard, to answer instead of just acting, and to pick peace over mess. He knows that losing someone is not the end of his world. He has lived through worse, built back from less, and grown through hurts. This grit makes him steady. Women trust him because he is not fragile in his heart. He does not break when things get rough. Instead, he stays steady, sure, and grown up. He can deal with a fight without blowing up, locking down, or running off. A man who is not scared to lose tells his truth without waiting. He does not hide facts, trick people, or act like someone he is not. He talks clearly because he is not worried about making everyone happy. This truth-telling builds trust. Women can feel when a man is being real versus when he is acting a part to keep them. The man who is not scared of loss does not act a part. He lives in a way that fits who he is. His words and his acts are the same. His limits are tough. His goals are honest. He never drops down to a place of being desperate. And that is why he becomes someone people want to be near. When a man knows he can stand on his own, he becomes a man who picks rather than a man who waits to be picked. Women trust him because his care is not based on how much notice he gets or how easy someone is to reach. His bond is based on fitting well, respect, and real heart, not being scared of being alone. This man also values freedom of the heart. He does not put the weight of his whole joy on one person. He does not expect someone to fill his holes or fix his scars. Instead, he brings a whole, tough version of himself into the bond. This makes the bond healthy and more steady. Women trust him because they can feel the gap between a man who needs them to live and a man who picks them because he truly wants them. His grit to let go is what makes him a man to trust. It shows he is safe, balanced, and able to love without losing himself. A man who is not scared to lose will guard the bond, care for it, and honor it, not because he fears the end, but because he values the tie. And this is exactly why women trust him more than the man who holds on out of fear. He sets limits without saying sorry because he knows that guarding his peak. He is not selfish. It is a must. He does not talk too much, explain, or soften his rules to make others feel okay. He knows that without limits he loses himself in the hopes, calls, and heart weight of everyone nearby. So he stands firm. He says what he thinks what he says, and stays true to his rules. This is not being mean, it is being clear in the heart. He knows who he is, what he will take, and what he will not let into his life. A man who sets limits is not cold, he is grown. He sees that saying yes means nothing if he cannot say no. He does not let people step over him, use him, or think they have a right to his time, spirit, or heart. When something does not fit his values or breaks his peace, he does not wait to move away. He does not fear being told no because he is not looking for a nod of approval. He understands that anyone who is meant to be in his life will honor his rules, not test them. His limits also show a deep sense of self-honor. He does not put up with rudeness hidden as a joke, tricking people called love, or mess shown as passion. He is calm, but he does not move. When someone tries to push past his rules, he does not fight, he just keeps the rule. He does not get stuck in heart battles or long talks. He knows that a limit with no result is just a wish, and he refuses to beg for basic honor. A man who sets limits values his hours. He knows that giving too much of himself to the wrong people wastes the spirit he needs for his goals, growth, and aim. That is why he is purposeful about where he puts himself. His tasks are clear and he guards them. Whether it is his job, his mental health, or his own room, he honors the things that matter to him. He does not give up his health for a quick feel-good or fake praise. His limits create a safe place for his heart, not just for him, but for those around him, because he knows how to guard his own peace. He becomes someone who can be trusted. He does not blow up in fury, hide his feelings, or let bad thoughts build up. He says what he needs clearly and fast. This heart discipline makes him steady and sure, someone who does not count on others to guess what he wants or put up with things that will eventually ruin the bond. He also sets limits in love. He does not lose himself trying to make a partner happy, and he does not give up his rules for a hug. If someone tries to rule him, trick him, or push him into needing them, he moves back. Love does not make him blind to rudeness. His limits make sure that any bond he makes is healthy, fair, and built on mutual honor. Because he is not scared to keep his rules, he becomes a man people honor, even if they do not always see why. Women especially see this power. A man who can set limits without saying sorry is a man who knows his value, guards who he is, and refuses to leave himself for anyone. His limits are not walls. They are gates that make sure only what is meant for him comes into his life. Mystery comes on its own to the man who values his hours, because he is not there for everyone, and he does not live his life for everyone to see. He does not say his every move, show his feelings to all, or look for notice to feel like he matters. His tasks are clear, his growth, his goals, and his peace come first. Because he is focused on making something that counts, he does not waste his hours explaining himself to people who have not earned that right. This careful way of being there creates a mystery that takes no effort, not because he is trying to be odd, but because he is simply focused. He is not stuck to his phone. He does not answer every note right away. He does not deal with empty talk that tires him out. He is not there just because someone asks, because his time is worth a lot, and he treats it that way. His notice is earned, not just given. This naturally makes others think about what he is doing, what he is thinking, and where his mind really sits. He is there when he picks to be, and gone when he needs to be without feeling bad or needing to say why. People often think mystery is a game, but with him it is not a trick. It is a way of living with self-control. He does not tell too much because he knows that keeping things private is power. Not everyone needs to know his plans, his hard times, or his wins. Only a few people have a way into the deeper parts of his life, and he picks those few with care. This self-rule creates a sense of wonder around him. Others feel that there is more under the skin, more depth than he shows, and more power in what he does not say. When he talks, people listen because he does not talk just to stop the quiet. His words have weight. He does not ramble or talk forever about himself. He talks with an aim. This careful way of talking makes him more liked and honored. He does not feel the need to talk anyone into seeing his goals. His acts speak for him, and his silence means just as much because he values his hours. He does not rush into bonds. He watches before he joins, and he listens before he tells. This makes him hard to guess in the best way. People cannot easily put him in a box, and that is what keeps them looking. He does not show all his cards at once. He shows who he is slowly, naturally, and for real. This speed makes being near him feel rare, and anything rare has worth. He is not mysterious because he is hiding. He is mysterious because he is building. While others are busy trying to be seen, he is busy turning into someone worth looking at. His focus, his aim, and his self-rule create a quiet poise that pulls people toward him. When he gives his hours, it has weight. When he shares his views, it has meaning. When he opens up, it feels big because it does not happen a lot. This natural mystery makes him hard to forget, not because he tries to be far away, but because he is truly set on a life of goal rather than a show. His value of time creates a vibe, one that makes people wonder, honor, and look up to him without ever needing to try. A man who stands on his own can lead himself because he does not wait for a way, a nod, or a yes to take charge of his life. He knows that leading starts inside long before it ever touches the world outside. When he stands on his own, he must rely on his own mind, his own hard work, and his own gut. He cannot blame others for the way he picks, nor can he hide behind words. This self-reliance makes him into a man who knows just where he is going and why. He does not need someone to keep pushing him, moving him, or showing him the way. He makes his own path. He sets his own rules. He does what he says he will do because he knows that his days ahead depend on the acts he takes today. Standing on his own gives him a clear view. There is no loud noise, no thing to pull him away, no counting on others to mess up his choices. He sees his power, is honest about his weak spots, and is purposeful about his growth. This view makes him a leader not only in his own life, but in any spot he walks into. When a man can lead himself, he cannot be stopped. He does not fall when others let him down because he never built his life on their help. He does not slow down when no one is looking because he is the one who keeps himself in check. He knows that real leading is not about leading others first. It is about being the boss of your own habits, heart, and way. Through being alone, he learns hard work. Through being the one in charge, he learns to keep going. Through quiet, he learns to be wise. Standing on his own teaches him how to bounce back. It forces him to fix things without waiting for help and to make hard picks without waiting for someone to say it is okay. He learns how to look at problems straight on instead of hiding behind people or the way things are. This makes him a man who can deal with tough times with poise, a man who does not panic when life gets hard. Because he is used to guiding himself through the rain, others naturally trust his mind. They feel that his way comes from doing it, not guessing. He leads himself by staying true to what he believes. He does not move with what is popular or what others think. He follows his rules even when they make him different. He does not give up who he is just to fit in or be liked. His freedom becomes a tool that keeps him on the path of the life he is building. This staying the same makes his presence mighty. People can feel that he moves with a goal, not just on a whim. Because he stands on his own, he learns to listen to his inner